we have the Polkadot expert on the channel, or all you can think of is just $3.
Programming language solidity in which Ethereum is developed in, that's huge, right? To create a programming language is not something that your average developer can do. So that takes a higher IQ than average, right?
So what was it specifically about Polkadot that kind of set it apart from the rest? Because there's so many, it seems like dozens and dozens of layer one smart contract blockchains. What was it about Polkadot specifically that makes you want to focus on it?
Kryptos chain. You guys make sure the information will be down below in the video description to go subscribe to his channel. Claudio and I've known each other for a long time. Since 2018, we've been talking. And one thing has become clear. This guy knows his Polkadot. So can't wait to talk to you guys about what he sees happening in the near future with some of the coins that are in the Polkadot ecosystem. But first and foremost, Claudio, welcome to the channel.
So hence why we've got these upcoming parachain auctions, which are very, very important and which are basically like token sales in a way. Except instead of actually losing your coins, you lock them up for a certain period of time and then you get them back. But you also get rewarded with the parachain tokens, you could call them. So you're basically helping a parachain, which is kind of known as a sidechain, bond to Polkadot's relay chain.
Folks, the following is a conversation with Claudio from the Kryptos Chain YouTube channel. He's a creator and analyst who lives in Spain. So we're going to talk about a bunch of interesting topics in this interview today. You are one of the biggest, if not the biggest, Polkadot content creators out there. So I want to spend some time today chatting about Polkadot and picking your brain on it. The first question is kind of tying to combining two themes we've been talking about today. So I've always heard these rumors that the Polkadot team has been talking and working with the SEC from the beginning, and that they've secured DOT as not a security. There's always been rumors about that from years ago. But it's been rumors. I don't think I've seen anything official about it. And I'm not sure they can even just flaunt that, the SEC probably wouldn't allow that. But can you speak on that? What do you think you probably know more.
When they're saying they've morphed, what they mean is that they followed the certain guidelines to ensure that they pass that test, where something is deemed to be a security or not. But until there will be a no action letter from the SEC, there are no guarantees. However, the SEC don't have to issue that no action letter.
I'm so excited today because I have another crypto content creator here on the channel with me to dive deeper into Polkadot, which is not something that we've really talked about much here on the channel yet. So I've got Claudio, who runs the Kryptos Chain channel. So Claudio, thanks so much for coming on the show today.
Yeah, so we can start off by explaining this in simple terms, and that's think of Polkadot as a whole ecosystem, and a whole ecosystem of trying to make blockchains interoperable with each other. It's basically a relay chain, which is Polkadot. And then within that relay chain, we've got these small parachains. And you could think of parachains as configurable blockchains, pretty much, right? Customizable. So what happens is, say a company like Ontology or Neo decide to migrate to one of these parachains because they no longer want to use their native blockchain. So what they can do is they can start building on the platform on the framework called Substrate.
This video, we're going to be finding out what is so special about Polkadot and what is so special about Kusama. And there's something coming in the Polkadot ecosystem which is going to give you access to free money in the form of airdrops. That's coming soon. This one is all about Polkadot and Kusama. You are fully immersed in the Polkadot and Kusama ecosystem. So we're going to be talking about Polkadot because I hold Polkadot, I don't hold Kusama. And I'm going to find out from you what is so special about Polkadot. I just have my Polkadot sitting in a wallet somewhere, in a hardware wallet doing nothing, right? But,
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, it only takes you a number of seconds to transfer from your wallet to another wallet, right? Again, if you're transferring from your wallet to an exchange, it's still very fast. We're talking a couple of seconds. In terms of stability, Polkadot is very stable. However, Polkadot cannot survive on its own because Polkadot is the base layer, right? You've got Polkadot, it's a blockchain, it's the base layer, but what use case does it really have? So what Polkadot actually needs is what are so-called parachains, which are basically side chains that are sitting on top of Polkadot.
We've got a very special guest for the entire CryptoWise family. Today we have Kryptos chain himself. Claudio is in the house. How are you doing?
Very well, very well. Thank you guys for inviting me. I'm very glad to be here.
Any this last batch, any of the ones that just got one or the ones that are about to get one, any of those really kind of fit into your favorite projects at all?
Hydra DX looks the most plausible one, even if I wasn't a huge supporter of Basilisk before.
Yeah, interesting. I'll have to look more into it. I definitely looked into it earlier, and it wasn't one of the ones. I mean, it's so hard because I love honestly, like.
Guys, today I've got a rare treat, really special guest Claudio over from the Kryptos Chain channel, and he is something of a Polkadot expert. But we're going to have a brief chat and an overview. This is kind of a miner's view, right? A miner's lens and frame on Polkadot. There have been some, as I understand it, one proof of work project that has launched in the Polkadot ecosystem, but the rest of it is decidedly like not anti proof of work, but just doesn't use it. So I'd love to understand if you can break down for my audience just a little bit. First off, what's the difference between Polkadot and Kusama? Because those are both making news right now.
Think of Polkadot as the king of interoperability. I think of Polkadot as this giant blockchain or ecosystem where you could have different side chains known as parachains all connecting to each other.
Somebody would want to have a side chain.
It's because you can take advantage of the security, the scalability, and interoperability of Polkadot, which means that if you become a parachain, you can then communicate to other parachains.
Tell me, are you still bullish on Polkadot and all those Polkadot ecosystem?
Very much so, yeah, I am. The only thing that people need to keep in mind is because I've noticed that my community in general from the Polkadot ecosystem are not as bullish as they used to be at the beginning. And that's mostly because of the lack of good crowd loans. So the Polkadot auctions are constantly running. We're on the third batch at the moment, but because the projects that are battling it out in the auctions are not as big as the ones in the first rounds, you know, people have kind of lost that sentiment. And also with the market crashing, the price of Polkadot dropping a lot, the price of Kusama dropping a lot. We had the DOT trading at like $16 from a $50 high, which is quite a big hit. And Kusama as well, it was about $500 and it dropped to $125. The market will recover eventually. And the most important thing is that both Polkadot and Kusama are very young ecosystems. And so every project which becomes a parachain, which wins an auction, needs time in order to develop and to bring products to life and for you to actually be able to use these products.
Polkadot, a deep dive into the Polkadot ecosystem and some of the projects that are involved in it. I invited my friend Claudio from Kryptos Chain, who is an expert on the Polkadot ecosystem. His YouTube channel is heavily focused on bringing the latest news and updates about these projects that are involved. So we just had a chat about Polkadot, Kusama, Moonbeam, Imbue, and other cool up-and-coming projects on Polkadot. Your favorite ecosystem is Polkadot, so of course I'm going to start with the obvious question, why? What exactly is attracting you to, and I mean, I don't really pick favorites, but of course, as we work with cryptocurrencies, we do end up having, certain favorites, or at least respecting certain projects more than others. So tell me why Polkadot?
So the reason why I chose Polkadot is because it's an interoperability ecosystem, which means it's all about making it compatible with the existing native blockchains that are out there at the moment, such as Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cosmos, Cardano, and I think this is the future. This is the way forward. I just don't think one blockchain is going to win. I think it's something that we need going forward.
Welcome to Just Crypto. My name is Vanessa. We've got a great show today talking all about Polkadot, which is a topic we haven't talked a lot about on our show. So I'm excited to get into it. We've got a wonderful guest with lots of experience in the Polkadot ecosystem.
We had what were called the parachain auctions. And so I did a lot of content on that. Like I let people know, look, we're going to have the parachain auction starting in this date. It started in summer of 2021. And so it was right, kind of getting close to the peak of the bull market, although we had another one, right towards the end of 2021, but it was like the perfect timing. The Kusama parachain auctions are launching now in the bull market. A lot of people are watching YouTube. You know, I was the only guy doing content at the time. Later on, another guy came in called the Kusamarian, Jay Trana. He's well known in the Polkadot ecosystem as well. Yeah, I was basically doing that pretty much full time since then, covering news, covering anything that's coming up with Polkadot, you know, at the time. So